Wonderful. So we will just let the people start rolling in. I'm going to share my screen so that that is in a good spot. Already have a few people joining, which is very exciting. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday. I feel like this week is just flying by, so I always have to stop and think about what day it is. If you're joining us for the third time in the last 3 weeks, welcome back. Really excited for this house. This is one of my favorite floor plans.
I'm excited too. I didn't watch the video yet either. I thought it would be fun to be surprised by it. So
Yeah.
first time seeing it along with your audience.
No, it's a great example of a really beautiful house that they kept a lot of the standards and only did things that were important to them. So
Perfect.
they didn't they spent 70,000 on upgrades, which
Very nice.
is a
Very
good
nice.
for what they got. Yeah, it is very cute.
I'm excited.
And it was in like a perfect area. So this is one of those houses that, appraisal came back great. I think we got like 36%
Woo,
loan value. Oh yeah.
very nice.
Anybody on this is local to Clark County, you know what Brush Prairie looks like, and it's a very sought out after area. So mhm. Perfect. So we'll give it just a couple more minutes for those that are joining us on their lunch break. So just keep hanging out with us for just a few more minutes and then we will get started here shortly. Looks like we've got about 10 people that have come on, so welcome.
Perfect. I have this one hair that wants to pop out and stab me right in the eye. Thinking about finding a glue stick while we wait.
That's funny. You might regret that though.
I think I probably would for that.
Um, Perfect. Well, it is 12 o'clock. We'll go ahead. We'll get this show on the road. So really quickly, just going to do a quick announcement. When we do these virtuals, we love to have participation. We love to answer your questions as we're going through these virtual tours of our homes. We just ask that you please use the Q&A function on this Zoom webinar versus the chat. The chat is a little laggy, so we don't get those questions in real time. But if you please utilize the Q&A, we'll get those questions. Katie's going to be monitoring that for us, and so we will take time throughout this presentation to stop and answer all of your questions. So before we get started, we'll do a quick introduction. So my name is Sarah. I am a home ownership counselor out of our Woodland branch. So I service all of Southwest Washington, and I also do a little bit in Oregon. So I also specialize in Columbia and Clatsop counties in our Oregon region.
I'm Katie Smith. I am a homeownership counselor out of Adair's Creswell office, which is, we call it the Mid-Willamette Valley. So I'm like the Eugene area and south to Roseburg, and then also over to the coast, Florence, down to Bandon.
Perfect. So for this tour, before we jump into the video, we'll kind of just take a quick moment here on our website, and then we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the floor plan that these customers built, and then we'll take a look at their blueprints because they did make a few modifications to their plan, which we welcome here at Adair. You can make any tweaks to the plan that you see fit to make that home more functional for you and the life that you want to live in that house. So if you've been to our website recently or you've been in communication with a homeownership counselor recently, you might know about the fantastic promotion that we're running right now through our in-house financing. So we are offering a 30-year fixed single close conventional construction loan at 4.875, which has been huge with where the rates currently are on construction loans. So if you haven't looked into it, you can of course learn more on our website, but also feel free to spark up a conversation with your homeownership counselor, or If you haven't interacted with anybody yet, you can also utilize this chat function down here at the bottom of this website in the bottom corner. And our lovely online team would love to assist with any of your questions. As you can see, it does say that it's ending in a few days. This kind of promotion is something that we can't really take an analysis on until we get to the end of the month to be able to see if it is a promotion that we can continue running. If you're interested, you can either lock it in this week, or I would definitely check back in on Monday to see if the offer was extended through June. For us today, the floor plan that we're going to be watching as part of our presentation is our Blakely floor plan. So our Blakely floor plan is a 2,256 square foot single story home. It can either offer a 4-bedroom house, or it can offer a 3-bedroom plus an office. So whatever you choose for your home design, both can work. So the Blakely is going to have a base price that starts at $407. That is going to be for foundation, walls up, and all of the elements that come inclusive in the base price of our homes. Few things that live outside of the pricing that you see on the website would be the acquisition for property. So whatever that is going to cost based on what size of lot you're looking for. And site development. So site development for us doesn't live in the base price. It is very specific to each piece of property as to whether or not you are installing a well or have a city connection. Katie and I are both from branches that are full service that do all of that legwork for you. But please know that each Adair branch does operate a little bit differently. Right now, we will all be the same in about a year, but we got to launch the program throughout the company. So this is the floor plan that we're going to be taking a tour of today. So the Blakely offers a very large open entryway into the home that can segue into a great size utility room that has a lot of storage. And then you've got the bedroom off to the side. Something that we'll notice in the video that we're going to watch today is there's a doorway right here. So when we do convert this home into a 3-bedroom plus a den, it is bedroom number 4 that becomes that den space, and that doorway then opens for you right off of the entry, which is always nice. Got a fantastic open concept on this plan. So you've got your kitchen open to your dining, open to your great room. So everything's going to flow really nicely throughout that space. You've got your primary bedroom on one side of the home, while all of the other bedrooms live on the other, which is always great for an element of privacy. It helps keep the house quiet, and kind of gives a little sanctuary over here to the primary suite. So 14 by 17 on this bedroom, great size, plenty of space for a king size bed, end tables, dressers, dog beds. I mean, whatever you're really doing in this space. 5-piece master on this plan. So on this plan, your main bathroom over here is going to have a tub that is independent of a shower, which is always fantastic. This is in the base price, along with dual sinks and a toilet. And then you come over here and you've got the other 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms, depending on how you set this plan up. 13 by 10 and 13 by 12. So really good size bedrooms on this plan. And then another bathroom over here for those ones. And so you've got a toilet and a shower and an independent room from the sink. I always love this because if you're brushing your teeth, you know, one of your kids can be in here taking care of that dental hygiene, while another one is going to be in here taking a bath or whatever that looks like. And then this is a full length linen closet in this bathroom. So when it comes to bedding or towels or whatever you need, that is a very big closet for all of that storage right inside the bathroom. Perfect. So what we'll do now is we'll take a look at the Durr residence. So it is the Durrs who built this house in Brush Prairie, and they only made a few modifications to the plan, so nothing major. So they did opt to make their garage a little bit bigger. So you see that. They also made some modifications to their patio cover. So for us, patio covers are priced per square foot. So you can choose for them to be as big as you want or as small as you want. These customers really wanted this to be a focal point. They wanted some outdoor space on their plan. So they chose to center their sliding glass door with their front door. So you walk in the front door and you are already looking at these big, beautiful windows on the back side of the house. And then their patio cover is just outside that. So this is a 20 by 14 patio cover. So plenty of space for grills, a Blackstone, a hot tub, furniture. I mean, the possibilities. Like we touched on, they did transition this to a den. So we'll be able to see when you walk in and you've got that open right there off of the entry to come into an office space. They did this primarily because they're septic. Septics are rated by number of bedrooms, which not many people know. So their septic was approved for a 3-bedroom. Okay, so that meant that we really had no choice but to make this one an office for their plan. Otherwise, the only other change we did make is to the kitchen. So like we saw on the website, the island is sort of running with the long edge of the kitchen. They wanted to turn it by 90 degrees, which is not a problem. Like I said, we can modify any of our plans. So we did take the time to just rotate that island for them a little bit. And then from there, this plan has an optional pantry. You're gonna see it and we're gonna go inside it in the video, which is always nice because sometimes we just see the door for it, but we don't get to see what's inside. So this one we get to see inside. It's great storage space. The shelving comes included. It's fantastic. And then they also independently vaulted their bedroom. On this plan, this primary suite can be vaulted all on its own, and that is something that they chose to do. So we'll be able to see that today. We'll go ahead, we'll jump into the video, but like I touched on earlier, if you have any questions as we're watching this video, please feel free to put those in the Q&A section. Katie will read them out loud and we will take the time to answer those. Gonna kind of stay here for just a second before we start. So these customers chose to do the traditions exterior. We have a handful of different looks that we can do with any of our floor plans. I always tell people, the paint is what brings it to life. They didn't do the farmhouse, but it looks like a farmhouse because of the way that they chose to paint it. I love the white and the black. They kept their gorbles, that's these cute little decorative things in the eaves of their triangles, their gables. They left them as wood just for a cute little accent on the plan. Looks really nice. Here we see some finished concrete. So like I touched on earlier, a branch like Katie and I's, we are full service, but there are a few branches with Adair that are working their way towards, being able to offer that for their customers. So definitely check with your homeownership counselor on what Adair can and can't do for you in regards to your site. But for this customer, we were able to do all of their site development. We poured all their concrete. We take care of anything that they're looking to see as part of their project. We take that off of our customer's plate and we're able to manage that on the customer's behalf throughout the project. We'll go ahead, we'll get it started. Beautiful flat lot. It's always perfect. I love that. When we come inside, and like we touched on, we've got that entry right to the one side. So we're gonna sneak in here. So we've got washer and dryer hookups, we've got recessed stainless steel dryer vents, and then we also have space in here for cabinetry. So each customer has the ability to pick and choose what they want in their home to fit their budget. These customers had a specific design that they wanted for this cabinetry, so they did decide that they wanted to do it later. But what we made sure to include is down here on this wall. So they know that they want to sink in this space in the future. So we're able to pre-plumb that hot and cold and have a drain already ready in the wall. So when they're ready to bring their vision to life, they're going to bring in all that infrastructure themselves and be able to have a sink. We also made sure to keep all outlets at countertop height in this space as well, so that they aren't competing with that if they bring in some lower cabinets. That is the garage. That's what that door leads to. So when you come in from the garage, you come into that beautiful utility room. And then this is the office. So we've now segued by 90 degrees or 180 degrees, 80, 90 twice, and we're in the den. So a few things I'll touch on in here is we definitely took some time to decide where these customers did and did not want to spend when it came to upgrades for their home. So this is a standard carpet. This is one of two different options that come in the base price of our homes. This is a beautiful gray carpet. It accents their walls really nicely and some of the other features in their house. Another thing that comes into play is windows. So for us, we like to keep the house as reasonably priced as it can be and give our customers the option to choose a la carte what they'd like to have in their home. And one of those elements is window trim. We, of course, can trim out a window if that's a preference for a customer. On this plan, for all of the windows, it would have been about $3,800. They chose not to do that. They're gonna bring in, blinds that go on the inside of these frames. So they just decided it wasn't important to them. But definitely work with your homeownership counselor on any of these sort of design elements that are really important to you that you want to make sure are included in your budget.
Sarah, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Are these the new standard doors and standard craftsman style trim package?
It is. So
Mhm.
for us here at Adair, we did a little refresh on the products that we offer in our homes. And I'm going to pause here in just a second. Perfect. So for us in the base price, and we're going to continue to see it throughout this video, we offer a 2-panel square door. So as we're moving through these different spaces, you'll be able to see those. And then we have a craftsman trim automatically in the base price. So as we get closer to some of these door frames, definitely take a look at it. It's automatically included in the base price that you see online. Few other things that I'll touch on is we have quartz standard now for our countertops. So in this kitchen, you're gonna see one of our 2 standard options that you can choose to have inside your home. In this space, all that the customers chose to upgrade were the floors, their appliance package, and the pantry. The paint in here is in the base price. The can lights that we're gonna see throughout here are in the base price. These wood cabinets, they're in the base price. So it's a great example of how you can really create a beautiful home without, kind of going overboard or feeling like you're outpriced. Got a gorgeous luxury vinyl plank throughout this space. This was important to the customers. They have dogs, and so that was definitely something that they wanted to see in the home. We'll continue to look at the gourmet package, but I'll pause it right here because we offer our gourmet appliance package in either electric or gas. That's for a customer to decide as what they want to be as part of their project. They chose to have electric. So this is a low profile 5-burner gas cooked or electric, so sorry, I meant to say glass, electric glass cooktop that is built right into the countertop. So this cooking surface is completely independent of the oven, which is really nice. And then you've got the standalone hood. When we have the quartz in the home, which is standard, all of our sinks are undermounted. That is automatically how they come in the base price of the home. For your kitchen sink, you can either choose between a double bowl or a single bowl, both in the base price. It's just whatever preference you have for that kitchen sink.
Sarah, not a kitchen question, but did they do 9-foot plate and what is included in that option?
Yeah, that's a great question. So these customers did do a 9-foot plate height. So when we do a 9-foot plate height in our homes, a handful of things are included. I'll kind of pause it right here so we can see a little bit of it. So for us, when we do the 9-foot plate height, we do it across the footprint of the house. So your garage door is automatically going to go from a 7-foot overhead garage door to an 8-foot. We're going to include what we call a transom window up above your front door. We saw it at the beginning, but if we weren't really looking for it, we'll play the video again so you'll be able to see that. We also increase the height of all of your windows on the plan. So every window is going to grow by a foot. And then your sliding glass doors would also grow by a foot. Not the front door because we put that window there, but your sliding glass door will grow. And then all of your upper cabinets in your kitchen are also going to grow by 6 inches. So we raise everything when we do that taller ceiling option in our homes. Great open space. When it comes to open concept, this plan nails it. We'll swing around. This is the dining room that lives right over here in this space. And then we were just in the great room. We'll get a great shot of it again when we come out of this primary suite. But here is the pantry. So love that the door was open. Love that we got this. So this pantry is a great option for this plan. Like we can see it's really good size. And then when we do the pantry option, we're going to include all of these MDF shelves. We don't do any wire shelves in our homes. So all of our closets are going to have an MDF shelf along with a solid wood pole to hang your clothes on. And all of our pantries or linen closets on any plan will come inclusive with all of these shelves present. A lot of the times people have a vision for their pantry. A coffee bar would look really nice in here. Maybe some cabinets with some shelves above them would look really nice. Those are all possibilities. We would work with you to understand what your vision is. How do you want that to flow? And then of course, where does it fall in line with your budget? Or like we talked about for the utility room, if you're like, Sarah, I really want a do-it-yourself project and I want to create a beautiful masterpiece of a pantry. Great, let's do it. I'll delete all the shelves. You'll get a credit for that because that's materials that you're not using. You'll have a blank space and you can come in and create your pantry magic. Gonna come into the primary, so it's tucked in here right behind the kitchen. So this home wasn't quite on our new spec yet. We see a lot of the elements that we did choose to include in our homes, but in here, the one element that we don't see is the countertop in here. So this customer has a laminate countertop in here. This is what was standard about, what would we say now, 8 months ago? Yeah. And so they chose to not, put that other quartz in this space. That was completely up to them. This tub over here, this 5-foot drop-in soaker tub with the tile deck and the tile surround, this is completely standard. This comes in the base price of our homes. You get to choose your tile. The tub is set up just like we see. The only element in here that they do choose to upgrade is going to be, sorry to rewind it, is going to be the shower. So they did choose to introduce a partially upgraded tile shower. So when it comes to a shower like this, you have the choice. Do you want to do a fiberglass pan like these customers chose to, or do you want to do a tile floor? That's completely up to you. Some people like, regrouting and some people hate grout. So that's up to you and what you'd prefer. We always do a soap niche in our tile showers. So this is something that is standard. It's where your shampoo goes, your soap, all that kind of stuff. And then it's hard to see because there's a reflection in the glass, but there is a corner tile shelf right here, and it is so hard to see. But when we do this shower, this door is included. So the door will come with the shower.
Sarah, what if, we have two questions. What if someone wanted to do more of a freestanding tub rather than a drop-in? Is that an option?
Yeah, absolutely. That is an option. We have a couple different selections when it comes to those beautiful sort of like porcelain style garden tubs. Or on the first floor only, though, let me specify this, only on the first floor, could we pre-plumb for you to introduce something in the future? I have a customer right now who wants a more of an eclectic Japanese style garden tub. I can't get my hands on it, but I can set the space up for success so that when they move in, they can install that tub on their own and have the plumbing and the drain that's needed for that unit.
That plumbing rough-in was my second question, so nailed it.
Yeah. This is the closet. Like I said, we don't do any wire shelves. This is a really good size closet. This is big enough for me. I don't share, but it's big enough for me. Good space, lots of storage in there. And then we're spanning out into the primary bedroom. So like we touched on, this is 17 by 14, really great space. I'll pause real quick because lots of outlets. This is standard in our home. So we're gonna have, I believe it's 6 or 7 outlets in this room alone. So lots of, lamps, lots of TVs. I mean, whatever you like in this room, you've got lots of space for it. Once again, staying the standard carpet. They only kept the carpet in the bedrooms. We transition right back to the luxury vinyl as we go into the hallway. And then what we're looking at right now is the great room. So really good size on this great room. We are, I want to say 21 by 19. Correct me if I'm wrong, Katie. I don't know if you have it open, but really good size. A big sectional in this space. I've had customers do fireplaces. For us, all fireplaces are optional, but we could have done a gas fireplace or a wood burning or whatever the customer preferred on this wall. Lots of really good space. We're gonna sneak peek at the kitchen again. So for us, there are 3 appliances that we don't include in the base price, okay, only 3. And those 3 that we don't provide are the washer, dryer, and refrigerator. A lot of people have specific preferences for those, so it's hard to make people happy when it comes to those ones. But all the electrical and plumbing is there. So as you can see, we've got an outlet for the refrigerator and we have a hose spigot so that your refrigerator can have your ice maker and your water filter. It's trimmed out, it's waterproofed. Like this infrastructure is there, so you simply have to put the unit in place. I just love this floor. This one's one of my favorites. This is
I do
just such
too.
a
First
pine.
thing I noticed. Yeah.
Okay, so then this is the hallway. This is what goes down to the guest rooms, and we're going to take a little sneak peek. But first, I'm going to pause it. So this is for their HVAC, so their heating and cooling that controls their whole house. That's in the base price for us. So you're going to automatically get that in your home. Come into this half bath. So any half bath for us is going to feature the pedestal sink that we're seeing, the toilet, and all the bath accessories. So the toilet paper holder, the towel holder, all the plumbing and lighting, that's all in the base price of the home. They didn't spend anything on that bathroom. We don't see it in here, but this is just a great storage closet. And it's an extra deep one. So a lot of good storage in there, which is always nice. We come into the first bedroom. So this is the 13 by 12. Closet is tucked around the corner for us. And then between the 2 bedrooms, like we saw on the floor plan, we've got this bathroom. And so with the 2 separate spaces, so we've got the sink here, and then we'll segue into the other space. I'll pause, just like the pantry, this linen closet has all of those shelves present in there for you. So lots of space for stuff. This is the tub shower combo that comes in all of our secondary bathrooms. It is one piece, so no seam, don't have to worry about any of that long term. That's gonna come in all of those secondary baths. And then we come into the other bedroom that's on the other side. These are always fun because one gets to look into the front yard and one looks into the backyard. Also lots of outlets in here, like you're seeing. This is a standard paint scheme as well. So we do all the interior and exterior paint in the base price of our homes. Customers get to choose from our preset schemes. And then from there, we take care of all that. If you've got more of a vision inside your head and just doesn't quite match up with the schemes that we have, that's okay. We can go outside of those, but when we go outside of our preset schemes, there will be a cost for it. And that's just because we have to go buy your independent paint color at retail versus the paint we already have on hand in bulk.
We have so many questions if you're available.
Yay, I love it. And then like we said, so we're seeing that craftsman trim, we're seeing those 2-panel doors, those are all standard. The outside, I just love the way it looks on the outside, and we're gonna get to see the patio cover. It is so fantastic. So here's that patio cover like we talked about. She is 20 wide, 12 feet deep. It's hard to see, but there's recessed can lights inside the roof in this area of the patio cover that are controlled by the inside. We went ahead and we did all the concrete out in this space, and we did it a little bit bigger so that, you know, they can really enjoy this space. It's going to be great. They're going to love it. They've got a shop going up over here. So it'll all kind of just be there in their backyard. Perfect.
Love it.
So we've
Love it.
got quite a few questions. So what we like to do at this portion is we're just going to continue playing the video in the background. So that way we can see it. We're not pausing. We're just flowing through it. And then Katie and I are going to be answering all of your questions. So if you haven't put anything in that Q&A section yet, please feel free to do so. And as we're going through all this, we are just here to help answer your questions. Before I unpause, this is that window that I was talking about that comes included in the 9-foot plate height that we introduced right above your front door.
All right, are you ready?
I was born ready.
Okay, so this house has the 9-foot ceilings.
Mhm.
The question is, how close to the ceiling do the cabinets go?
That's a good question. I would have to give me 2 seconds and I can answer it for you. So for them, they have a space from their ceiling to their cabinets of about 12 inches. So that's just what we'll do automatically. There is a growing popularity of taking those cabinets all the way to the ceiling. It's not a problem. 100% possible on this plan. If we did that, you know, it depends on what style of cabinet you have, but it's not a major upgrade. Most of the time we can do it for probably less than 1,500 bucks.
Perfect. While we're talking cabinets, Anna says, I really like the kitchen cabinets on this house.
Mhm.
What style and color are they, and are they standard or upgraded?
They are standard. They paid nothing for these cabinets. So this is our Contempo door. I told you that I wouldn't pause it, but I'm gonna pause it. I'm sorry. So this is our Contempo door. So the Contempo is like a recessed square, but it has a little bevel that you can kind of see as it drops into the recess. And then, oh yeah, right up here, if you all can see my cursor, it has a little outside detail on the outside edge too. So this is our Contempo door, and this is our bourbon stain. 100% base price cabinets.
Very cute. Is there an option to delete the appliances so I can bring my own, and how does that work?
Absolutely. So we can do a customer supplied appliance package, not a problem. We can take the appliances out of the base price. That does result in a credit, but the one thing I'll say is the credit isn't as major as what some customers, you know, are hoping for. And that's just because when we buy an oven, we buy 200 ovens. Like the pricing is just different, but we do provide a credit. And then from there, when it comes to supplying your own appliances, you're going to want to provide your homeownership counselor, so somebody like myself or Katie, with the spec sheets for those appliances, because we want to make sure that it fits when you move in. So how big is that range that you're getting? You know, is it gas? Is it electric? What size outlet is it going to need? We need to make sure that the infrastructure is ready for the unit you want to put in place. So not a problem. We just are going to ask you to do a little bit of shopping beforehand so that we can make sure the schematics of your cabinet layout align with the appliances you're looking to provide.
Perfect. Is there an option to do bifold doors instead of bypass at the linen closet?
Yeah, not a problem. The linen closet that's in the bathroom, 100% could do bifold. The only thing that somebody like myself or Katie would raise our hand on is if the door is open to the bathroom, the bifolds will hit it. But nothing major. You'll just wanna make sure to close it before you open it, doesn't, but we'll just raise our hand on that functionality wise of those two doors in that same space, but not a problem.
Okay, kind of back to the appliance question. Does Adair do white appliances or do they only do stainless?
So we only do stainless steel currently. We did used to offer white appliances, just not necessarily as popular as they used to be. And then, appliances, they've recovered, but they were hard to get your hands on for a hot minute. They had like a lead time of like sometimes up to 18 months. Like it was crazy. So currently we just offer the stainless steel. If a customer would like to provide like a graphite gray or a white or any of those unique colors that are on the market today, we'd want to do that customer supplied appliance package. Deduct what we have and let you pick out exactly what you want for your house.
No one wants to wait a year to move into their house because they
No.
can't get an oven.
Yeah,
Well,
because believe it
yeah.
or not, they're needed, yeah, to get certificate of occupancy from the jurisdiction. And so, yeah, it was not. We even at one point, because it's so important to us, took a hood out of our model home, functioning hood, and put it in somebody's houses so that they could move in because their hood was like still 3 months out. And so,
Oof.
yeah.
Okay, okay. If someone wanted a one bowl kitchen sink rather than a double bowl, does that cost more?
If it's going to be the stainless steel single bowl, it does not cost any more. We, of course, offer farmhouse sinks and different styles of sinks. So if something like a farmhouse is what you like, that one would come at a cost just because they're more expensive than the stainless steel. But if you did the single bowl stainless steel, there's no cost difference.
We're getting so many questions. This is great.
I love it.
Can they add outlets in closets in places that they call out?
Yes, and I bring any customer that works with me. I am like, let's think about this. I send you home with homework and I make you look at your current house in a brand new way that you never have before. And I tell you, I was like, think about where you would love to have an outlet in your current house and you don't have one right now. It is not code to put them in closets. So if you want to be able to like, let's say you've got a teenage boy and you want to be able to plug in an air freshener, or you have a grown adult teenage boy and you want to put an air freshener in your closet. Outlets are needed. So we definitely take the time to like think through that. We can do floor outlets. We can do outlets in the closets. I can do a holiday light package on the exterior of the house where I do outlets in the eaves for Christmas lights. We will rarely tell you no. Okay, it's not necessarily sky's the limit, but we will rarely say that two-letter word. It really just comes down to you and what you want to see in your house. You guide that discussion, and yes, we can do it.
Perfect. Can someone turn their outdoor area into a grill area?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I can do, depending on the type of grill or what functions you have, we can do like plumbing out there if you want to introduce a sink in the future. We can do additional outlets for whatever you're looking to do. Say you want to build a surround with a mini fridge, because why not? For cooking though, right? For cooking. And then if you want like a gas spigot, let's say we introduce propane or natural gas in your house and you want to be able to connect your Blackstone right up to the house or your propane grill. So those are all things that we can do. We wouldn't necessarily specialize in the outdoor kitchen, but we would set it up for success for you to come in and create one, knowing that all the infrastructure was already present on the house.
Beautiful. Do you happen to have a price per square foot for patio covers?
Yeah, so those patio covers will depend on which exterior you're choosing. So we have, and when we get to it, I can show us the different exteriors on the website again, but we've got the traditions, we've got the farmhouse, we have our craftsman, and we have our riata, which is our modern. So when it comes to building one of those patio covers, the traditions is going to be the cheapest. It's got sort of like the most simplistic material. And then something like the Craftsman patio cover is going to be the most expensive. So a Traditions patio cover, like what's on this house, it was 82 a square foot. But that wasn't including the finished concrete, because the finished concrete has to live outside that. Because if we walked out your back door and you were dropping 3 feet, you need a deck. You can't do concrete. So we won't tie the patio cover and the concrete together because not every house can have both. So the patio cover itself was 82 a square foot for this project. It can go as high, I believe, as 98. To go for the Craftsman. So you're from 82 to 98 a square foot on those patio covers.
Beautiful. Can you give us a pricing range to replace carpet with a plank flooring?
Yeah, so it comes down to sort of what product you're looking to do. So in this space, we're seeing a luxury vinyl plank, which is what I would call, well, it can be our second tier and our top tier, because just in vinyl plank alone, I range probably, I think, $14 a square foot between like product tiers. So it comes down to what you specifically want. If I'm gonna go from carpet to a laminate plank, that is the most budget friendly. But we would talk through the aspects of laminate plank because it's not waterproof and it's not scratch resistant. So those are things to think about. But when we do that, that's gonna run us, Katie, do you have the numbers in front of you? Or no? I know, because it's different. When we go from a luxury vinyl plank to the laminate, it's a little bit different. I want to say when we go from the carpet to our standard laminate plank, I don't want to quote you wrong.
I was gonna say $8 a square foot,
I think
but
that's what it is. And then when we
$1 to
go
go
from
from.
the carpet to this tier of luxury vinyl, when we get back into the gathering space, they did like a second tier luxury vinyl. So when we went up to that for them, it was $9 a square foot from the carpet. Okay. And I can go higher, but when I go from carpet to hardwood, which is also a plank style floor, that's going to start at $12 a square foot. So it just depends on where you want to live in that sphere. They chose the luxury vinyl plank, even though it was a little bit more, because they have dogs and their dogs are over 40 pounds. Because not every, like if you just got like a cute little chihuahua, little guy, it's not going to hurt your floors very much. And laminate plank, I mean, it'll hold up it really well. It's not a bad product, but something like the sliding glass door, for example, like an area where you're going to be letting that dog to go in and out to go to the bathroom, that's a high traffic. And so that is the area where you would see scratches in the long term. So those are just things to be, thinking about when doing the design.
Okay, we've got a couple of quick ones. Does Adair include blinds in their builds?
Adair does not. There are so many products on the market that is just something that we let customers take care of. Naturally, you can come into the house and measure. And that's not to say that you couldn't have, you can't put in the blinds where the house being built. That's fine with us, but we won't provide them, no. Especially because the warranty that comes with our house, that is not something that is covered at all. So yeah.
Yeah, the warranty question is a perfect segue. Mike asked this a while ago. Can you take a moment to talk about warranties, what's covered and what's not?
Yeah, so for us, we have a 3-tiered warranty system here at Adair. Okay, so you've got a 1-year warranty, a 2-year warranty, and a 10-year warranty. So for us, that 1-year warranty, that is essentially like all of your growing pains as your house is sort of settling into its new space. So the 1-year warranty covers all fit, finish, and install. So any cracks above the doorways, or sometimes when cabinets settle, the grout cracks a little bit on the backsplash. If there's any imperfections in your paint, all that's covered in the 1st-year warranty. It's handled by the same exact branch that builds your house. Able to put those warranty claims through the website. It's really easy. The 2-year warranty covers all like distribution systems, like your HVAC, your appliances, the mechanical aspects of your house. is all covered in that 2-year warranty. And then your 10-year warranty is structural. So load bearing elements like your foundation, your footings, your roof system, not the roof product, that's different, but your roof system, all of the foundation, all of those elements are covered for 10 years. Your roof product, your composition shingle roof that comes in the base price of the home has a 30-year warranty that lives outside of Adair's warranty. So that's covered too, but it's just not housed in Adair's warranty.
Speaking of roofs, it's like you can read my mind with how you finish this question.
It's because we've been doing this now back for
That's
3
true.
weeks. We're just in sync.
Professionals.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 2 roof questions, and I think they can be kind of lumped together. So the first is, can we do a metal roof? And the second is, what roof options do you have?
Yeah, okay. So for us in the base price, we're gonna have a composition shingle roof. That's what's automatically included in the home. Anything other than that, you would pay the cost difference. For a metal roof, really depends on where you're building. So if you're working with a homeownership counselor, bring it up to them. Because we need to make sure that we have a trade that can install that for your house. And so if we don't currently have one, we need to give our purchasing time enough time to look for one, price it out. What I will say is metal roofs cost about 4 times the cost of a normal roof. So this house is just over 2,200 square feet. If my customer, if this house we're looking at, if they wanted a metal roof, that would have likely cost them like just shy of 40,000. And that just is what they cost right now, unfortunately. I can do one. I don't know if Katie can, but it all just depends on if you have the trades. And I know that not every Adair branch has, so I definitely ask that question to your homeownership counselor that you're working with. There's a lot of new technology. I've not explored anything else, but just know that it will always come back to whether or not the product is something that Adair, can put their name behind, especially when it comes to those warranties we just talked about. If it's very new, hasn't been around long, and reviews aren't great, we're probably not going to take a chance on it. So just know that.
Weird side story. 3 years ago, I could do a 2,000 square foot house, a metal roof upgrade for less than 10,000. I just priced one out at 60,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
It is, and it just hasn't, I don't know what it is, but I know that the material recovered a little bit post-COVID, but the labor for that particular trade, there are 2 labors costs when it comes to building a house that are higher than any other labor cost around the whole entire house. And that is a metal roof and tile. Those are the highest paid trades. So when it's elements like that, just know that those will have the largest cost associated with them, because purely the cost to pay those people to install that on your home is the highest across the board.
Which makes sense. Okay, so we've got a handful of questions with the same kind of idea. So how can someone go about getting pricing for their specific build?
Okay, so naturally what we would want to start with is picking up a conversation with a homeownership counselor. If you have not met with someone yet, definitely start interacting with the website. Those ladies online will be able to set you up with an appointment with a homeownership counselor in the area you're looking to build. You sit down and you have a great conversation with that homeownership counselor like Katie or myself, and we talk through like your wants and your needs and what are we thinking for the project? Do we own land? Do we not own land? Let's talk about that. And then from there, we can start to help you understand, okay, we've got the Blakely. We just saw the base price online. Based on the elements you want in your home that are X, Y, and Z, we're likely going to be looking at an upgrade cost of 70,000. Okay, so we put those 2 together. We don't own property, we don't have it developed, so we run all those numbers with you. If you own property, it looks a little different, and we can give you some clarity pretty quickly. We just would want to get somebody out to your site, one of our superintendents, to be able to walk that property, because not every lot is the same when it comes to site development. pay range. I've seen things. I'm sure Katie has seen things. So those are hard costs though. Like we can't really negotiate with the PUD. We can't negotiate on your building permit cost. So we really are going for the best interest of everybody, want to get clarity on those elements before we start designing the house. Katie and I are not in the business of crushing dreams. So we want to have a clear path forward, and taking the time to understand your costs around site development simply allow us to take a straightforward approach when it comes to the home and when it comes to the remainder of your budget. But when it comes to getting pricing, we can let you know. We can, talk through what you want: a tile shower, a gas fireplace, a gourmet kitchen, whatever it is, great. We would be expecting to look at that upgrade cost at X on this particular floor plan. And then from there, you get to decide. And there does come a point where we price it all out for you and we give you a quote. And I say just price everything. Price it all. Don't live in the realm of what if. If we're over budget, it's okay. My motto with my customers is we don't fight here in my office. We fight at home. So I'm gonna send you with that quote to your house, and you and your significant other, or you and yourself in your mind, are gonna have great conversations about what's essential and what can be let go, and you make all those decisions.
Beautiful. Some pricing questions. Approximately what was the cost to go to a 9-foot plate in this house?
Yeah, on this particular home, give me 2 seconds. So on this house, for them to go to the 9-foot plate height across the board, it was just over 13,000.
Okay. And approximate price to go to tile shower walls with the fiberglass floor.
Yeah, with the fiberglass floor. So keep in mind that we've got different tiers of the tile as well. They chose a very middle of the road. So there are options that are going to be cheaper than this, and there's also options that would be more expensive. So for them to have the fiberglass pan and the tile walls, for them it was 4,199.
What about if someone wanted to do pocket doors instead of swinging doors?
Perfect, not a problem. There is a little element that people don't necessarily always think about with pocket doors. Yeah, I can't put them everywhere. They'd be nice, but can't put them everywhere. You can't put a pocket door in a space where you are going to have electrical or plumbing. So we have to look at the plan and make sure that there is a void space for that door to go. Otherwise, if there is, I can put them anywhere. I'd have to look up the price. It's not much, but we could put that wherever it makes sense on the plan. Easy.
This specific person wanted to do closets to save hanging space, so that would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do barn doors?
Yeah, so for something like that, what we would do, once again, it kind of comes back to the warranty. Barn doors have some mechanisms in there that can fail just, because they do. So what we do with customers who want barn style doors is we will simply like remove the trim around that door and create it as like a drywall wrapped space to allow like a flush surface. And then any customer looking for that design would install that barn door themselves after they move into the house.
Okay. I'm gonna save John's question, but we have another one. Does the cost of the home include interior and exterior paint? What brand do we use? How many colors can we choose from?
Perfect. So yes, it includes exterior and interior paint. We only use Sherwin-Williams, which is a lot of options, more than a normal person probably even wants to look at. But when it comes to what we offer in the base price, we have 30 different exterior preset schemes to go through. We've got blues, we've got greens, we've got grays, we've got reds, we've got, I can make a little
Blacks
game out
even.
of this.
Yeah.
Blacks, graphite
And
grays,
so,
charcoal
yeah.
grays. For the inside, we have three, a little less there, but we try to keep it really simplistic. We've got a beautiful sort of like warm gray and beige baby. I call her grayish. And then we've got a very nice neutral gray for an option, white on white. The one thing we won't dabble in because it's just complicated is we won't do one room blue and one room red and one room green and one room purple. Unfortunately, no. With something like that, I would say let's just do white on white. Let's give you a blank canvas and you can come in, let each kid, paint their own room, or you come in and design each room and decide what paint you want in it, XYZ.
Okay, the same person is wondering, can they opt out of interior paint and have Adair just do the outside?
Man. I've never been successful. I operate on the motto is the answer is always no unless you ask, but I've never been successful. Adair didn't always paint back in the day. Okay. Um, and customers could either hire their own or they could do it themselves. And Adair absorbed the fact that we paint homes just about almost 2 years now, almost 2 years ago. And the reason why they're hesitant to let customers do it themselves is they aren't as quick. There's no way for me to sugarcoat this. Our painters come in, they paint the house, they're in and out in 1 week and done. We're moving on to the next trade. When our customers used to paint their homes, they would take 2, 3 weeks because customers don't realize it's not just paint. Paint is, romantic, but caulking. All of this trim needs to be caulked. All of the nail holes from the nail guns that are used on this trim has to be filled, all of that before you can paint. And that's also your responsibility. Our guys aren't gonna just caulk and not paint. They're gonna do both. And it just messes up every other trade. Everything gets behind. Then we're delayed. And then customers are like, well, why are we delayed? And it's like, okay. Well, you see, so it's not something I've been successful in unless you own a company, unless you can fight that fight and be like, look, here's the expectation and you're free to hold me to it. Chances are Adair's going to say, no, we really want to paint. And it's also a pride thing for us. When you have guests over and your house is beautifully done and you're like, yeah, Adair built this house. And they're like, great. Yeah. I like this. This is a nice house. Come into a house, it's painted, but there's some thin spots and there's some spots over here and there's this spot over here that's missed and oh, Adair built our house. And they're like, oh. So there's also that aspect.
I built with Adair and I thought I could take on my interior painting piece of cake. And then I realized what an actual nightmare and how labor intensive it is. And so I pretty much did like a rejoice in my chair the day that Adair said they were just going to take on painting because it's a lot. It's an undertaking.
It is. I mean, paint sprayers aren't that expensive these days. I mean, really, you can get a decent one for like $300, which is nice. Paint, you can get it on sale. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, but it's the caulking. It is that aspect that is just painstakingly awful.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
What, if anything, can a homeowner do themselves during construction?
Um, when it comes to participation, um, really anything that homeowners can do would be on the site development side. We've got some give and take there on things that customers can manage in regards to well install or driveway install or XYZ. But when it comes to the house, we really try to limit customer participation. We want to make sure that your house is designed exactly the way that it is on the plans, that we've got quality products in there that are going to be able to hold up through our warranty process, and that there's no like gray area for he said, she said, or well, you did this, but well, you did that. Like that's just not, we are a builder that wants to come in, build your house start to finish, deliver a quality product with a great warranty, and have you move in with no issue.
Perfect. And John, sorry for making you wait so long to get your answer, but John is wondering, does the cost include permitting? Does Adair help with permitting?
That's a great question. So Adair helps with permitting. Adair helps assist with site development. In a branch like Katie and mine, so in Cresswell and in Woodland, we're gonna do it all for you. But like I said earlier, not every branch can offer that service to their customers, but in our branches, they can. That price for those permits and such, they're not in the base price. I have one county, so Wahkiakum County. If I've got any Southwest Washington folk on here, you know how small Wahkiakum County is. This house, to permit this house in Wahkiakum County, would only cost you about $1,000, which is crazy, but it's true facts. And your building permits would get approved in 2 weeks. So come build in Wahkiakum County with me. But this house was built in Clark County. Clark County is one of my more difficult counties to work through. This 2,200 square foot house in their area cost them 14,000 to permit. And it took 14 weeks. So every jurisdiction is different. And how do we capture that? That's a difference of $13,000. How do we capture that in the base price? So when it comes to those things, as soon as a customer comes to us and they know what county or what city that they're building in, and they know what house that they're interested in, we can then be able to let you know what those costs are going to be, but they can't, there's no way for them to live in the base price because they're just so vastly different.
That's a perfect explanation. I think I range from 6 to 36,000 for permit costs.
Yeah, and it's based on the size and everything. It's, yeah.
That is it. We're all caught up and we're right on time.
Look at us. Well, we'll finish this video out just one last time. Any stragglers out there to ask a question, ask away.
I feel like no one stumped you yet, and I always look forward to someone stumping you. There's still time. It could happen.
Well, I mean, the good news, when we do this, I mean, between Katie and I mean, we've got what? So I've been here 4 years. You've been here
Going
5
on, going on six, going on 6
yeah.
now. Yep.
So you have almost 10 years of experience on this virtual right now.
All right, still nothing.
And plus we're women, so we don't forget anything. So
Exactly.
we just
Locked in.
we're like a locked case up here.
See it, remember it.
Mm-hmm.
I love this house. I love walking in the front door and looking straight out the back door. That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Smart
There's a
planning.
lot of things that you can do with this home. I've done modified vaults. I've done all kinds of cool stuff. Love this house.
We got one. Does Adair do basements?
Yes, Adair does basements. So we something people don't really know about us is we also can do completely custom builds from scratch. So if you have a plan that you found on the internet, you'd have to buy the copyrights to it because it's somebody else's intellectual property, but we can build it, not a problem. So when it comes to basements, this is us getting eyes on the site is the most important because how much fall do you have? Do you have 6 feet? Do you have 15 feet? What does that look like? Does the basement start, right at the front of the house? Is it back a little ways? Do you want it finished? Do you want it unfinished? So yes, Adair does basements. We'll design it how you want it. We can do it unfinished or finished. Doesn't really save money. I mean, people think it does, but it doesn't. If you're gonna finish it eventually, it's not gonna save you nothing. And it just cuts down on your square footage of your home, so your appraisal isn't the same. But we can do it any way you want. Some people start with our plans from our website, and they're like, I want a basement on this. Great, not a problem. Where's the staircase gonna go? That's the most complicated question. Other than that, not a problem.
Okay, what options do I have if my lot has a major slope?
I always ask what's major? I think the most I've ever worked with from the front to the back of the house, there was 16 feet of fall. So, which is more than what a basement needs. So that house had a basement and a crawl space under the basement. And then naturally that's a lot of fall. So we did have to introduce a retaining wall to hold back that hillside from the basement portion. So we've done a lot of projects. I mean, we build in coastal regions. I would say those areas tend to have like the most, like out in our Lincoln City branch, we probably do like almost every plan has like a basement or has fall or has something unique. So once we get our eyes on it is where we can start to tell you what your options are. Or if you, because we're going to drop a laser and the laser is going to tell us from this corner to the house to this corner of the house, we are losing this much feet. And then we're able to translate to, okay, your foundation's then going to look like this. And then that cost will look like this. So it's really hard to like put a number to it till we see it. But I haven't experienced a slope that I didn't have the ability to build on. Whether or not it fits in a customer's budget is something else, but I've always been able to come up with a solution.
Sorry, typing. Okay, and then can Adair do an ADU over a garage, attached, detached? Can we do ADUs?
Yeah, we do ADUs, all of the above, whatever you prefer. What I'll do is I'll stop this video and we'll look at a few things on the website because our ADU, so we're back on the Blakely, we're back on the website. So we have a few different ADUs, but the one that can be attached directly to the home kind of gets lost on the website a little bit. She's hard to find. So you just kind of scroll down on any floor plan and you'd be able to look at the different exteriors. We touched on this earlier when it came to the patio covers and why they're priced differently. But down here in popular options, you will see attached studio and ADU. Okay, so the attached studio, this one has to go with a house. Okay, so this is 512 square feet. This is a full bedroom, a full bath, a stacked washer and dryer, kitchenette, and a living room. I've turned this into a full kitchen, not a problem. Like we said earlier, we can modify. So this is one option. This can't be built independent. It has to go with a house. Otherwise, for our other ones, you would go to view our plans and then you go to ADU. And we have two smaller standalone ADUs. They're called the Sitka, which is going to be just shy of 600 square feet at one bedroom, one bath. And then we have the Magnolia that's going to be a little bit bigger at 780 square feet, two bedrooms, one bath. So yes, options. And if
Yes.
you want to do one above a garage, not a problem. I've done two custom designs where it was like a 25 by 25 garage that you could pull into, and it has like I think it was like 580 square feet on top, and that was a studio that was livable, kitchenette, bathroom, all the things.
Perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have someone wondering about an average project timeline. I'll tell you yours if you tell me, I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Yeah, yeah.
We do, so our valley builds are an average 11 months start to finish, so that's all drawings, permitting, site work and build. And then our coast projects are more like 14 months start to finish, and that's just a running average.
Here in my branch, we're really close to corporate, so we've got some different advantages. Sorry, Katie. Depending on the jurisdiction, I could move a project through quickest, probably 10 months. And in some of my more complicated jurisdictions, I could probably move your project through in 12 months. So just a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that varies branch by branch. Like there's our King
Mhm.
County branch, which is what, an average? I don't even want
Well,
to throw
King
it out,
County
but
is a beast. So our North
yeah.
Bend branch services King County, and King County takes a minimum of 8 months to get building permits.
Oof.
Can't even start a project until you have approved permits. So King County is like a completely different beast. I think Clark is bad at 14, but that one's worst. So yes, it's branch by branch.
Okay. Can we do a shop without a home?
We have a minimum contract size. And if the shop can meet the minimum contract size, then we will explore it. And I believe in today's market, our minimum contract size is 135,000.
What if one of your plans, what if it is one of your plans on your website? Is it faster to get approved for permits versus custom?
It's not necessarily, permits don't matter. So getting a permits approved, the timeline is the same no matter what plan. So that plays no bearing on the jurisdiction. It just would play a bearing on like our internal process. Like I can move you through to hi, hello, let's sign so we can get going much quicker on the plans on the website than I can custom, but It's like a 2-month difference. So if your heart is set on a specific plan with a specific functionality, don't let go of it just because you want to go fast. That's full of regret and bad choices. Get what you want, but custom or non-custom doesn't play anything on the building permit process.
Okay, I wish this question came earlier because it's great. At what point do you come to my property and does it have a cost?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for any of our customers, when it comes to your property evaluation, um, some things I always raise my hand on are, are we comfortable with our budget, XYZ. But when it comes to us coming out to your property, that is called a property evaluation. I'm gonna pull over my steps that I walk every single one of my customers through. So this is everything that somebody like myself or Katie specializes in, like helping you understand your budget, going from there. If you own your property and you want somebody to come out to your project, we do collect a refundable $3,500 deposit. Okay. And this is just because somebody like Katie and myself, we're full service. Once again, not every branch will require this. So definitely reach out to the branch that services your area. Ask this question specifically and you'll be able to know. But if you were building in my branch, or if you were building in Katie's or our Olympia branch, or Mount Vernon, and some of the others, this is what is due because we all are full service and we're going to get your full bid packet for you. It's 100% refundable. So if something happens, you need to move to Texas, or it's just not a good fit for this year and we maybe need to revisit in the future, no problem. It takes 4 to 5 business days for us to give that money right back to you. No issue. Okay. But the one thing I will say is this is a deposit. Like it is going towards your project. This is your first payment. So it gets deducted from the house. So it goes towards that cost. It's just not an upfront, it's going towards the project.
That's perfect. And I think we're caught up and we're past our time. We got carried away.
Yeah, I'm long-winded. I'm so sorry. Perfect. So with that, thank you everybody for joining. We'll give you back the rest of your Wednesday. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you, Katie. Bye.